Peace, 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 world. How you doing? It's your brother Mikey Fever. Happy New Year again to our NYP families, to our viewers, our listeners, our subscribers. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We got super chats. We have merch on the website. So do proceed, do tune in and get on board with the program. I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Ron Brown and the rest of the team. We have tonight a special guest that we had on here less than a month ago, I say last year, who rocked it when he was here. And this dude is an author, the first, and let me make this clear, the first Haitian author that we have out here. And these North Americans talking about Haitian Vodou. The one and only Papa Mystique, brother. How you doing?
Aibo Bo, I'm good, brother. How about you?
I'm good. Aibo Bo. I gotta get that greeting correct. You know what I'm saying? Aibo Bo, peace to the family. So tonight we're gonna be talking about Fete Makaya, Voices of the Sacred Night, and we want to delve more into the aspect of voodoo of what Makaya is, because the voodoo is so diverse. Haitian voodoo is just not one thing, right?
Right.
It comes in many flavors, and tonight you're gonna educate us on what Makaya is. So with that being said, brother, take it away, man.
Yeah, so Makaya is a period during it's parallel with the Christmas season, but it doesn't have anything to do with Christmas. And so around the end of December every year we start Fete Makaya. And it goes on for several days, and it's historically Makaya, which is from one of our ancient languages. Makaya means many leaves.
Oh,
Right. So some people also say that Makaya means it means like treatment fey, right? So that means basically, treatment that you get from, herbs, these herbs, leaves, bark, anything dealing with, the botanical side, Makaya has to do with that as well, as far as in definition, you know what I mean? And so depending where you go, which department of Haiti you go, you'll get a different reason or a different definition for Makaya, but it's all really within the same part of the culture, which is this is the time of the year that we choose to shed all negative energy, all bad luck, all jinxes. We use the Fae, to take a series number of spiritual baths in order to, shed. Just like when you look at nature, right? When you look at the trees during the winter season, what are they doing? It's fall, the leaves are falling off, winter stuff is dying off, and then so this is the season we're doing the same thing. We're shedding our leaves. We're shedding the things that are that are dead to us, all of that negative stuff, all that stuff that's not doing us no good. We're shedding too, and we're getting prepared to enter into the new year, which represents new birth, new growth, all of these things. So December, we're mimicking nature and where we're shedding, you know what I mean? And then as we start the new year, now we're getting ready for that new growth. So Makaya actually was, a slave that was able to heal people. And so they had a series of different, methods of using Fae, which are the herbs, leaves, things of that nature, everything within the botanica, you know what I mean? They were able to use all of these things for different types of treatment, right? So you got treatment that gives you, that's able to give you like, healing methods, right? So, healing people, right? So that's a particular type of fae. We got fae that we use for, let's just say, for good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a various number of ways that we use our fae, and a lot of that is, if not all of it, is related to Makaya. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our people understood when they heard the term Makaya. That it was someone who had a knowledge of the fae, a knowledge of the herbs, a knowledge of the leaves, things of that nature. So historically, that's what that meant. And over generations, it's become a celebration at the end of the year where you're seeing people, with the pilon, and they just, they
The motor.
stomping on the herbs. It's on
Yeah.
fire in there, and they just mashing it in order to create for a various number of treatments. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very you know, ancestral tradition that we have that has carried on. And so we are Fete Makaya when everybody is, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. I like that because and I'm glad that you broke it down. It basically follows the solstice periods, like as you said. So
Exactly.
that's deep within the cosmology of it.
Right.
Which Loa are mostly commonly associated with Makaya?
Simbi Makaya. He's one of the main ones.
Simbi, yeah.
Simbi Makaya, Simbi, which means doctor.
Mhm.
Makaya means many leaves. So a doctor of many
Many
leaves,
leaves.
Simbi Makaya. You also have the Rouges, which are a part of this as well. Ogu Rouge,
Mhm.
right? L'Anglais sous bassin sun as well. You know what I mean? So these um these lois are a part of it, right? And so some of the colors that you see around that time, you see a black and red.
Yeah.
Other people use different colors that represent, let's just say, the herbs, things of that nature. You may see green, you know what I mean? So it's just depending on which la cour or societe that you go to, you may see a set of different numbers, colors rather, which would, basically represent the spirits that are a part of this tradition.
Got you. I got you. So you say the black and red, the Jia Wuzhes, which mean the red eyes, like are just for the sake of the listeners, are the Jia Rouge part of the petrol rite or the rada rite?
Okay, no, they're not part of the the Rada right,
Yeah.
right? They are part of the Petuo, right? So
Yeah.
the Jewush, these are the slaves that were, beat until their eyes turned red. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So this is where that spirit comes from. These are the ones, and they like to be stuck with needles and things of that nature. So they're the ones that represent the bloody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you really think about it. So they're part of the Petua, which is a rite that was born out of Haiti. This is a strictly Haitian rite. This is our nation there.
Got you.
Petua. You know what I mean? Petua is our nation.
The
You know what I mean?
hotness.
As far as like where the rite was birthed. All of them are ours, but
Yeah.
Petua was specifically birthed out of Haiti.
Got you, got you, got you. And I'm only asking these questions for the sake of the listeners and viewers again, is to because some may not have much knowledge on this, so it's trying to walk them through it to understand it, so they could go out there and do
Mhm.
their research, pick up his book, Papa Mystique book, which will guide you through that, and from there, you have more knowledge. Is
Right.
Makaya is Makaya primarily defensive, offensive, or balanced in protection?
Makaya is balance and protection.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that during Makaya, we renew our gods, which is our spiritual protection. So
Yeah,
during Makaya, the God, which is our spiritual protection, there's a spirit associated with that God, and the God has to be fed. We feed the God every year around Makaya. You know what I mean? And and that is where the renewal part of it comes in. We're renewing our God. We're renewing our spiritual protection around
Mhm.
that time. You know what I mean? So yes, it is defensive in the sense that it protects us, but it's also on the offensive in that when we renew it, it's for the new year that's coming, that we are going into.
Because I remember growing up hearing like around whenever we after we're done with Fete, like the month of November, dealing with the dead, going into December, they always say this is a dangerous month for people. I was
Right.
like, what? Like, what do you mean by that? If it's about healing and healing and doing the herbs and protection, they say no, this is the time when people are handling unresolved matters. Is that part of Makaya?
Well, in a sense, it is, yes, because again, anything that's in this year, 2025
Mm-hmm.
or before, you want to try to, you know,
Close it out.
not carry that into the new year, whether
Yeah.
it's problems, whether it's, issues, anything that's negative and not positive to you is something that you want to, yes, absolutely resolve, take care of. And is it dangerous? It depends on what side you're on. Are you on the side that's trying to harm someone? Then it may be dangerous from you. You know what I mean? But if you're on the side where you're all about protecting yourself, your family, and you know what I mean, and those in your community, then it's it's not dangerous. It's basically going on the offensive. It's being smart. You know what I mean? You want to renew your protection. You know what I mean? That's called being smart. You know what I mean? It's like having insurance. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm.
in case something happens in the future, where you may be attacked, spiritually attacked, you got that protection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna, allow you to thrive. So that's the pretty much, when you think about when they say something like that, it can be dangerous. It
Mm-hmm.
can,
It
but
can be.
it's best to be smart
Yes,
and be on, the offensive rather than the defensive,
the
in
defense.
that particular situation.
Got you. So, like, so who can practice Makaya? Is it mainly designated to voodooists, to Ugans and Mumbles, or can somebody just wake up, a person wake up like, I'm gonna do some Makaya work today? How does that work? Is it designated to only Mumbles and Ugans?
Well, in regards to Makaya work,
Yeah.
um, it would absolutely have to be someone who's knowledgeable of what they're doing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just wake up and be like, you have to learn from someone who knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a wide number of fae that is used
Mm-hmm.
for these banes, and you know what I'm saying, that we create. And so if
Yeah.
you don't know what you're doing, you may not put the right fae in these banes that will help you remove the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could possibly end up making it worse for yourself by
Mm-hmm.
moving without knowing what you're doing. Or, you know what I mean? You have to seek someone who knows what they're doing in order to kind of like, help you get involved within Makaya. Now, are people welcome to come visit? Let's say someone's having a Fete Makaya. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. They can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And possibly, get some faith for themselves in order to get the banky on, because normally, traditionally, that's what they do. Because during Makaya, we share with everybody. We share. It's a period of sharing. You know what I'm saying? So while, other people are sharing, Christmas gifts, we're
Mm-hmm.
sharing in Makaya food, you know what I mean? Baths, everything. You know what I mean? So if
Mm-hmm.
someone's visiting a Laku, or or Umfor, and there's Fat Makaya going on, then yeah, they'll be allowed to participate with the other voodooisans that are there, and they'll kind of let them know, what's going on, throughout the ceremony.
Got you. I have a question, right? And I don't want to go against the code of ethics of the culture. What herbs, if you don't mind naming, if you can name a few, are used in during the Makaya ceremony?
Well, we have two versions,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got like Mauve Fade, and you got and Mauve Fade is kind of like Fade that you use for certain treatments. You know what I'm saying?
Like bitters,
You got huh?
like bitters considered bitters, like
Right, like bitters, and then you got, Fade Deuce, which is to help with, what I mean, prosperity and and growth and things of that nature. So, there's two different categories of these types of Fade. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it kind of just really depends. So we got, I could mention some of them, but I know people probably won't know what these are. But we got like Fay Zodevant, Fay
uh-huh.
Amoise,
Mhm.
um, uh, we use Basilique, of course.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just so many. I can't even
I know. It's a plethora.
I'm just kind of drawing a blank right now, but it's
Mhm.
just so many that we use that that's part of the tradition. It's a lot of different herbs that we use. So, but just for example, yeah, we use um, like I mentioned, Faiso Devant,
Uh,
Fay Amoise. There's another one.
Can I say one? I don't know. They're gonna laugh
Yeah,
at my Creole. Is one they call Boakaka.
Boakaka. Right. Yeah. So it's
Funny
just a
name, bro.
lot, different ones that we use.
That herb stink,
Um,
bro. Live up to his name. That herb does stink, bro. But,
uh-huh.
I said that herb does stink. It live up to its
Oh
name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, got you, man. So, what taboos must Makaya practitioners follow?
Follow
Yeah,
taboos.
like certain things that they must follow. Like like you can't go, of course. Like the
Okay.
protocols.
um. So there are certain things that if you are practicing within Makaya, as I mentioned, there is a point where we have to um feed our God, right? So that's
Mhm.
something that you absolutely have to do because that's the basis of Makaya, which is protecting us, keeping us healthy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
feeding your spiritual protection at that time is something that you know you absolutely have to do during Makaya season, and that is the whole point. You know what I mean of Makaya, and a lot of societes or lakus they end up doing it, right before the new year. That's like the last thing where they feed, give the offering, in order for that protection to last throughout the incoming year. So that's something that you absolutely have to do. Um, as always, give honors to the spirits, you know what I'm saying? And, especially the spirits that have a lot to do with this fate that we have, you know what I'm saying? Simbi Makaya, you
Mhm.
know, all the all the Makaya, and then even Glombois. Glombois has a lot to do with the Fae, you know what I'm saying? So
Of course.
they're like, they work a lot together, Simbi Makaya and Glombois. You know what I mean? So definitely always give honors to those spirits, you know what I mean, for allowing us to have this nature to work with so that we may heal ourselves.
Mm. That's pretty dope. So Makaya starts from December 1st and ends 31st. It's a 1 month celebration, right?
Well,
Basically.
we consider so yes, we consider the month of December like Makaya season once it right after get it.
Mhm.
But like you'll start seeing the main ceremonies begin around Christmas time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The 26, 27, 28, 29, all the way up until the new year.
Okay. Got you. Got you. Are there any gender specific roles in the Makaya tradition and practice? Are
Gender
there roles?
specific roles.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't want to say gender specific, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? As far as like a woman has to do this or a man has to do
yeah,
that, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody kind of takes part in it.
yeah,
Most of the time, I do see the mumbos or the sisters. They're the ones that's at the Kivet and they Forte Faye. You know what
yeah.
I mean? They're Forte in the Faye, and then you see guys up there,
Hmm.
with the pilon, hitting it, hitting it, crushing up the herbs and things of that nature. So mostly see that, but I
Hmm.
don't want to say that
It's
a
gender.
man or a woman can't do either of those things.
I got you with that. So take us through a process. Like, say for instance, I'm going to a Fete Makaya, right? What am I expected to see when I walk in there? Boom, I walk in the spot,
Right.
like I see them, pressing down, as they say, forthwith the herbs together. The brothers are breaking down.
Mhm.
Is it herbs as well? They breaking down or other things? It's the same. It's the same thing, right?
Herbs. I mean, herbs. Uh, it just depends on what day it is. Because what happens is, so
Mm-hmm.
one day they're gonna couche the fake, one day they're gonna pile the fake. One day
Okay.
is gonna be green fay. One day is gonna be dried fay. You know what I'm saying? So there's a series of days and processes that they go through with each different one. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have, like I said, fresh green, they'll pile those, they'll have dried, they'll pile those. And when I say pile, just I mean crush them. You know what I'm
Crush.
saying? So there's a different number of things that's happening over the period of Makaya.
Mm.
Right. So there's different faith that's being used and different methods that's being applied to them, in order to prepare everything that we need for all the activities of Makaya, whether that's baths or other things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you'll see leaves, you'll see the roots, you'll see bark, you know what I mean? All parts of the Fae you will see that will be getting crushed up on any particular day.
So basically, it's just herbal baths and drinks, if possible, like certain potions to drink, something like that, right? Teas and healing.
Yeah, just depending. Yeah, again, just depending on the bitation or the laku, they'll be doing any number of one of those things that you just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff that we can do with
Mm.
the fae. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just a lot of different things that they're doing during this period where, it could be, it could be for Bang, could be, for other things. You know what I mean? They make foods and all kind of stuff. So it just really depends on
Yeah,
what that particular laku is, how they're choosing to, go about doing their fetes or celebrations and things of
got
that
you.
nature.
All right, so we got to turn up a little bit. How is Makaya viewed within broader Haitian society? Because we know we have voodooists and we have different denominations of religions in Haiti, mainly Catholic, Protestants, Seventh Day Adventists. How do you think others view the practice of Makaya during the season? Like, what are their views of it? The misconception that
Most
they have?
well, most people think Makaya is well. Again, that's something else that it just depends where you're at. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? A
yeah,
lot of people are beginning to respect Makaya. They just didn't know what Makaya was. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So there's a lot of Haitians that who were raised Christian,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're interested in knowing what Makaya is because it's on TV in Haiti. It gets it gets its fair share of publicity every time the season comes around. I think
Mm-hmm.
now more people are kind of getting into it. You know what I mean? But yeah, there was also that group that calls it demonic. You know what I'm saying? And you know, um, I think they need to be educated on what Makayat really is. You know what I mean? But for those who still think that ancestral traditions are demonic, that speaks a lot to their education, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where, you know, it's kind of like, have you studied your history? You know what I'm saying? Have you studied your
Right.
own culture to realize that Makaya is not just a season, this was an actual historical person within the history of our, you know what I mean, of Haitian people. You know, or not even just Haitian people, but Africans, Tainos, you know what I mean? They all understood what or who Makaya was. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And Makaya also was part of the group that was, into making the poisons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Uh-huh.
that's why you kind of got the societés with Makaya. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because these these people have an ancestral lineage to people who had everything to do with leading up to the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Because the revolution, which everyone, well, I don't know if everyone knows, but they should know about, you know what I mean, about uh
Makandal.
Boakai, but they should know about Boakai Iman, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But Boakai Iman was a ceremony that has a lot to do with igniting the revolution, but there were also
Mhm.
many, many events that led to Boakai Iman, that led to the revolution. And
Mhm.
so when you look back in history, there was a poison conspiracy,
Mhm.
right? And Makandal was a
Mhm.
part of that poison spirit conspiracy. Him, his wife were a part of that as well. But even before that, we had Makaya, right? Who was the herbal doctor, right?
Mhm.
In our community. So they laid the groundwork, they laid the foundation for people like Makandal who came after, you know what I mean, to be able to learn the science of using poisons, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, in order to poison the enemy that absolutely led to our liberation. So while their enemy was fighting with weapons, our people was fighting with the science of herbal, with the spirits, things of that nature.
Herbologist. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm glad you're taking it there because I was like, you know what? We're gonna just stop doing the merry-go-round and it's get to them raw, man. I'd rather get to them raw because in your book I read about that and through my studies of what took place with Makandal and Makaya. I
Mhm.
think something I started learning later, and I'm glad you shed light on that about the herbologists learning the land, the science of the land. They knew the herbs, poisoning the
Mhm.
as Kanye West said, people had an option. Slavery was a choice. They said, "Nah, we're just gonna poison these people and call it a day." You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad
Right.
that that's part of our history, which show the resistance. Because I look at the science of voodoo. I don't want to say religion. The science of voodoo as a form of resistance against white supremacy. So I find it odd when people frown their face upon it. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
So to, that's beautiful within itself. So we got through the Makaya, the season, what it's about, renewing yourself, shedding your skin, broadening the opening for the new year. When the Makaya season is over, any other seasons after that? Any other special theme after that? Or we just go into
Yeah.
new year?
So when Makaya is transitioning,
Mm-hmm.
over, then yeah, we um like I mentioned, we shedding during the winter. When we start to go into the spring, now we
Mm-hmm.
start doing our Bane shunses and things of that nature. And one of the most powerful law dealing with shunts is Fuera. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we just actually had another holiday for all the Hunga, all the Mumbo, Papa Loco, what I mean? And this is for the people who are they call it, the Wa, right? So do
Mm-hmm.
you have the Three Kings Day that people were celebrating? So we
Yeah.
have our version of Wa, Twa Wa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and this is the thing, we're talking about kings within our history, you know what I'm saying? That we, and Hunga, Mumbo, these are our queens. They're treated. A lot of people don't know because they've kind of gotten our people have kind of gotten away from you know our history, our culture. But
Mm-hmm.
Hunga and Mumbo is royalty.
That's
They
a
are
fact.
royalty.
That's a
You know what I
fact.
mean? So. when we celebrate, which was just on January 6th,
Mhm.
we honor all of them, Papa Loco, you know what I mean? The one who actually gives the power to the Hunga and Mombo, we celebrate him. You know what I
Mm.
mean? At Laku Bajo, they celebrate Papa Ogu. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there's a lot of celebrations that happen after Makaya, which is very beautiful. So
Mhm.
we go and then we start going into some of the other seasons, such as we'll be in May. We'll get
Mhm.
to Kuzen Zaka, which is around right around Labor Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We in Haitian Labor Day, and
Mm.
we have the celebrations with Kuzen. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And we're giving back to charity. We're
That's dope.
focusing on hard work. So there's different seasons that we encounter after Makaya. Absolutely.
That's dope. So Kuzenzaka, the agriculture, right? I think he represents,
Right. Hmm.
which makes perfect sense for our people in May. You know what I'm saying? Because off the land, it kind of ties back. I don't want to be wrong to the whole Makaya concept. Again, knowing the herbs, knowing the sciences of the
Hmm.
herbs. So that's pretty dope. More about that. I want to get more into your book.
Okay.
As I said earlier, you're the first Haitian author that I met that's actually speaking about this Haitian concept of voodoo, and it ties back to historical context of the Haitian people.
Right.
Not written
Yeah.
by no disrespect, not written by no European. I'm not being disrespectful, but it's not a European narrating our stories. Actually, somebody who's born within the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound mean, but go ahead, bro. Like, give us a walk through your
Yeah.
book.
So my book, Mysteries of Haitian Voodoo,
Mm-hmm.
um, a very good book for someone who has no knowledge of voodoo, but they
Mm-hmm.
want to get a base understanding of it, especially if you're Haitian.
Yeah.
And this book is educational in the sense that before we jump straight into Haitian voodoo, can
Mm-hmm.
we get into Haitian history? Can we find out what voodoo has to do with our history, what voodoo has to do with our culture?
Yes.
Let's learn that first. Let's
Mm-hmm.
understand how this ancestral tradition, which was, you know, given to Haitian people, but also to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Let's learn about the people.
Yes.
Let's learn about the Haitian people who presented it to us, who made us become knowledgeable about Haitian voodoo. Where did they come from? How did
Mm-hmm.
they evolve from where they come from to who they are today? And what does voodoo have to do with it? And this is how how I begin the book with the
Yeah.
history of Haiti,
Yeah.
leading all the way up until, the Bois Caiman, which is very significant
Yes, it
in
is.
our history and our liberation today. Why I'm able to sit here in the luxury of my home and speak to you on this podcast. Why me and you are liberated,
Talk
right?
about it. Talk about
Because me and you are liberated because what our ancestors did
it.
in the
Mm-hmm.
past. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, they were practitioners of this ancestral tradition that has been handed down to us after many generations, and we need to honor and respect that. So that's why it's Mysteries of Haitian Voodoo,
Mm-hmm.
unveiling the spiritual traditions and history of Haiti, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because voodoo is very diverse. I know
It
voodoo,
is.
I know a lot of people would like to think voodoo is it's one thing, but it's not just one thing. It's many things. You know what I mean? And you are right that I am a Haitian author,
Tell us.
right? Now, I have to give honors and respect to, former Haitian authors. And I was, speaking with you before the broadcast that, when you talk about books on Haitian voodoo and you
Mm-hmm.
go into Google, not many of our people come up. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a very long time since
Yep.
we've had a book on Haitian voodoo written by someone who came up in the culture, someone who is Haitian, and it was like a bestseller of any kind. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see that. You know what I mean? And you have to ask yourself the question, why? Why isn't a book by a Haitian author on Haitian Vodou, ranking up there with some of these other authors who may not have grew up in it, but they end up inheriting it through initiation. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
Why are we struggling to have one of our own just as popular, if not more so, you know what I mean, as an author of Haitian Vodou? You know what I'm saying? Like we have to kind of figure out what that is. You know what I mean? Why? And I kind of know, like, let's just be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Just keep it raw, God.
Yeah. Let's just be honest. Look, Haitian people ain't writing books, bro. We're not writing books like that because this tradition was handed down orally, right? So because it was handed down orally, we have no need for books because we're just teaching our own, right? But what has happened is that, as Haitians start to go out into the world, into the diaspora and populate some of these other areas and create families in these other areas, there's a disconnect, right, from the ancestral tradition and from the culture because they are not bringing voodoo with them to wherever they have gone. You know what I'm saying? Some have, you'll find in areas like Florida, New York, Boston, where there are very heavy Haitian communities, you have, a minority of people that will be practicing the tradition, right? But but Haitians are all over the world. And everybody is not bringing voodoo with them. You know what I'm saying? So how are their children going to learn about their culture, not from the enemy who's saying it's evil and demonic, but from someone who, is showing veneration and honoring the culture and telling them the truth about Haitian voodoo? You know what I mean? Where's their access going to be at? Are we just going to cut them off because their families chose to move someplace else? No, that doesn't make it. Nobody else does that. So why should we do that? You know what I mean? There shouldn't be a divide because a Haitian chose to go someplace else. You know what I mean? No, that person wants to. Every ethnicity allows their people to learn about their culture no matter where they go. They make it available. So we have to do the same thing. We have to make the culture available, to those who may not have access because their parents may not have brought voodoo with them from where they came.
Beautifully said, yo. This is why it's so important for the elders to pass this information down. Because as we said before the broadcast, right? Damn, I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, Papa Mystique. You may catch flack for this too. We have a lot of charlatans out here that are giving people a lot of misinformation about the culture. You get what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to understand the culture, but can you identify with it?
Right.
Like I know if I walk somewhere, there's certain scents I know, certain energy you know, certain songs you know that will hit you a certain way because you identify with it. That's within you. But there are those who go out there who try to buy the culture, but they don't understand it. It's not within you. It doesn't resonate correctly with you. Because what you said about the voodoo thing, what you're doing is very profound, and like I told you before, very profound, powerful, and it's beautiful. And it's something that, it's leaving a legacy behind. Believe it or not, brother, you're contributing a lot. Your book right here is the blueprint that could build on more, because many others will be inspired by it to go out there and do the work.
Right.
I think that fear comes from, remember, colonialization amongst our people too, bro. You got a lot of these, these rice bag Christians who will drop their culture to embrace another. And I'm not banging on religion. I'm just saying they've been taught wrong. They say, dislike what you're doing, but yet you go to a Catholic church, you see saints, they doing the same thing that you're doing.
Right.
Just that you just see little, white faces on there. You deem it as safe. So I don't know, brother. You may continue, man. It's weird, man. I'm I'm happy your book is doing that. You like you educating us about our culture, because you can't talk revolution without talking about voodoo when it comes to Haiti.
Oh, exactly.
That's what liberated us. It was the spirit of the ancestors, the will of the people. The Tainos were involved. The voodoo that we have is a conglomerate of adding part of the oppressors' science into it too.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And before the broadcast, I asked a question about this. Is it true? Because a lot of Haitian people tend to say things. I think sometimes it's exaggerated. They said that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were initiated into this. Is that true? Any truth to that?
So I actually write about their first experience, in Haiti and with voodoo, right? I actually write about this in the book, Mysteries of Haitian Vodou by Papa Mystique. You'll find it on Amazon, anywhere, Apple Books, it's out there. But I write about their first visit to Haiti, which was in 1975. And they did attend a voodoo ceremony, which was being led by Hungan Max Beauvoir, who is another Haitian author, as well as a very significant figure in the history of Haitian voodoo, especially when it deals with the worldwide recognition of it. He was an engineer, doctor, scientist, what have you, that retired and chose to, follow the path of his father, who was a Hunga, you know what I mean? And, return to voodoo, to do voodoo, you know what I mean? After having a great career, as an engineer. So he led this voodoo ceremony that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton attended. And if a lot of people don't know that when Bill Clinton after he married Hillary Clinton and they went to Haiti, he had lost his he was running for, I believe, attorney general in Arkansas at the time, and he lost the race. Married Hillary Clinton. They're on their honeymoon. They go to Haiti, and he's deciding. And he writes about this experience in his book. And at that point, he's deciding, should he go back to Arkansas and run again, or, should he just hang it up? And after that voodoo ceremony, he went back to Arkansas with a different state of mind. Now, we all know what happened. He won governor of Arkansas, and he became president twice. You know what I'm saying? He won the race twice. This is clearly a change from someone who lost the attorney general race in Arkansas, which is much lower than a governor. You know what I mean? And if you think about it, after he comes from Haiti, he has this streak of good luck that just doesn't stop. What happened at that ceremony?
As I said, do you actually point?
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So did he get some magie done? They probably didn't initiate, but did they get any magie done? And if he got some magie done and he believes in it, I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. I can't confirm it because I didn't initiate them. You know what I mean? Exactly. But we do know that they have maintained a very close tie to Haiti. You know what I mean? And even though they've done a lot of wrong, they own property in Haiti. They for some reason, him and Bill and Hillary Clinton are not trying to leave Haiti alone no time soon. And what is that reason? You know what I mean?
Bloodsuckers. Let's keep it real. They go there, exploit the people. They learn the craft, and that's what I'm saying. Do you think that somehow our people have allowed the craft to be exploited for $1?
I will say that there are people out there exploiting it. I know that to exist. Whether our people allowed it, you got to look at who gave it to the people that are exploiting it. You know what I'm saying? Who
Mhm.
gave it to them, right?
Mhm.
And you know who gave, and that's what I'm saying. Even then, you can't really say, because you got, you know, people who come and they try to be a part of our culture. And Haitian people are so loving. We're so loving. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Now we're méchant too, but we're
Yeah.
loving also. You know what I mean? We got a lot of us that's méchant too, but you know,
Exactly.
we're very loving people, and we will welcome you. You know what I mean? We'll welcome you into our home. We'll welcome you, show you our beautiful culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, you may be letting people in, like you said, that are bloodsuckers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so they take advantage of that loving, you know, nature of ours, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna take this, and that, and then they go do their thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that absolutely does exist, but it may not because someone just knowingly gave it to them. It may be because of our loving nature. We teach our culture to our people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, there's people that go and buy it too, because you know, there's people that's hustling it. Absolutely, that
Bro,
exists. But
talk
that
about it.
exists in, I think
Everything.
that exists in everything. You know what I
Everything.
mean? It's not just Haitian voodoo, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I will say that I do see a lot of our people, you know, still trying to kind of, I guess you would call it gatekeeping, right? But then, you know, they will sell it too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we
Yeah.
gotta pick and choose
Catch
what we're gonna
22.
do. You know, gatekeeping cannot have a price. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
bro.
If it has a price, then there's no point in gatekeeping it.
So, yo, I'm glad you mentioned that. And you know, we got a few minutes before we check out. You know what I'm saying? I know we're
Mhm.
picking up speed. I'm glad that you mentioned about the gatekeeping and what takes place in the culture, right?
Mhm.
There are other factors in the culture that some people be afraid to speak of. You know what I'm saying? The abuse of power. I have heard horror stories. You know, some people go for initiation. Ogum may be like, you know, I see the fun in him and from side, you know,
Mhm.
whatever, come with some BS story, or people who practice other forms of, you know, sexual preference, trying to impose their will on people.
Right.
Is there some kind of council within, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but a council within Haitian voodoo that kind of regulates those behaviors that speak out against these atrocities?
So it's a good question. So traditionally, we've always had some type of security council, which are like the societe, the
Mm-hmm.
secret societe, and these are, you know, they kind of police certain matters. But uh modern day voodoo does have um some form of council. I know in Haiti for sure they put together something. It's still in the works, as you know. A lot of things take a lot of time in Haiti, but
Yeah,
there's we do have some type of governance that was created for kind of trying to have voodoo, you know, have some type of governance, even though you can't really do it because
I know.
it's
It's a
just a lot of it.
yeah.
But there is something being developed or in place and being developed to kind of like have a code of ethics, right? And
Mhm.
so that code of ethics would include like what you're talking about, as
Yeah.
well as, you know, other things, you know, sacrificing in a decent way. So there's something that's, you know, it's in development, but
Mhm.
it's not widespread. You know what
Not
I mean? Is
widespread.
but as far as that what you're talking about, you know, yes, there's a lot of that. There are horror stories.
Yeah,
So it does absolutely exist. But again, that's something that it's in a lot of things. You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
Exactly.
It's
No,
a lot, it's in a lot of things, especially when you're talking about spirituality. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
So
bro.
when you think about that, you think about spirituality, man, it's supposed to be all good, but spirituality is not all good. Well, it's not all good nor all bad. It,
Yeah.
it is, and there's learning lessons in it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you just got to um, look at this from a spiritual eye to
Mhm.
try to kind of, you know, get
Have
an
discernment.
understanding on how to navigate yourself through those things. It absolutely doesn't belong,
Yeah.
but you still got to use, your spiritual eye to be able to kind of discern when you are in a situation where, where it's not, you did everything ain't coming correct. Because
No,
if
no.
you're being approached like that,
Mm-hmm.
it'll kind of like for a quid pro quo where, you're exchanging something for
Yeah.
something else, then, it's best that you move up out of there, you know what I mean? And find, some place where you're not experiencing those things.
No, I'm glad it's beautifully. I love how you articulated that. It's beautifully said because I know in Haiti, they, as you said, it's taking time to work on that to build a community to regulate those things. And as you said, it's so you can't contain it because it's so widespread. Not the behaviors itself, but voodoo's all over the place. So to get a grasp of what's going on. But I say this like that guy. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, Makachi Dula, who be cursing on the Haitian TV stuff. That guy would be yelling.
Yeah.
But you people out there doing these deviant behaviors, menamudanu. Let me tell you something. I will put you on the screen. I will summer jam screen you. Y'all better stop the behaviors out there. Stop abusing people, man. People came for help. They came for refuge and information to help better themselves. You, as a practitioner, your behaviors will give this religion a bad name. So
Right.
tighten up. You know what I'm saying? If not, you're gonna be on the screen. You're gonna be on that screen.
Okay. I know that's right.
Yeah, definitely. Trust me, I'm on your ass.
That's how we police it.
Yeah, I'm on your ass. Trust me, I'm on your ass. Yeah, you can see the face too. I'm on your ass. Go light chicken. I'm on your ass. But anyway, my brother, I appreciate you for coming out, man. And I'd like to have you come up more, man, to elaborate on that book. Because again, we need to cherish what you're doing, man. It's very important. Can you tell us the name again? Where can they find the book?
Yes, Mysteries of Haitian Vodou by Papa Mystique. Very, very good book on Haitian Vodou. Teaches you a lot of what you won't learn in many of these other voodoo books. You know what I mean? You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Barnes and Nobles. You can find it on Apple Books. You can find it a number of places. Just type in Mysteries of Haitian Vodou, type in Papa Mystique, and the book's gonna pop up. Very good reviews so far from everybody who's read the book. Grab a copy and support a Haitian author. That's the key thing, a Haitian author who has written a book on our culture. So let's make this book pop up first when they Google it.
That's a fact, man.
Let's make this book pop up first. Because
important.
It's important that we have one of our own speaking about our culture ourselves.
And it's beautiful what you're doing because we have to also conserve our culture because believe it or not, sooner or later, paper genocide is taking place. And if we don't conserve voodoo, if we don't read about it and instill this information into the ears and the minds of the youth, it will be lost. That's why Papa Mystique, salute and respect to you, brother. Shout out to Mumble Lost in Brooklyn. Spiritual mom right there. She's raw. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the real Ugans and Mumbles out there that's doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Not those that out there seeking drama, because we got to get rid of that too. All that nonsense we doing online and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of it online, brother.
That has to stop, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You think your ancestors fought that hard to give you something like this to carry on with those behaviors?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Listen. Let's just keep. You know what? With that being said, my brother, okay, we could go on forever. I appreciate you. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to the viewers. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We got Super Chat. Check out Papa Mystique's book. You go out there, Mysteries of Haitian Vodou. You go on Amazon, you run it up. They have the Kindle version. They got the hard copy. If I was you,
I wanted to ask you, man. You gotta let me know what you think, man. What's if you had any questions on it, man, on the book. So next time we'll get into that.
Definitely, I'm going to because I got to the part when we got to the history of voodoo and we got into like the creations of the rites, what it's about.
Right.
I'm up to like let's see, third chapter, so I'm still going through it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bet. That's good.
Yo, bro, it's very historical, but I'm gonna finish it up because I'm in the middle of reading so many other books. I'm trying to cram it.
Right. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I got you. Next show, we're gonna definitely talk about that. I'm gonna ask some
All right,
questions
brother.
about that.
No
And
doubt.
may have some mumbles and ugans on there too to add on, bro.
All right, bro.
It's important.
No doubt.
Peace and love, man. We out.
Peace and love. Aibo both.
Aibo bo.